This video is sponsored by Baby Bliss Mom and Baby Shop.
My name is Sarah Inimwaije. I'm a client relationship officer at a financial institution. And I'm a proud mother of a lovely 2-year-old daughter. Yes, I have only one kid. My husband and I agreed that when we get into 1 year, 6 months of our marriage, we start planning for a baby. So I think around June, we started planning for a baby. And each month that we do the thing on my ovulation day, my menses delay for like 2 weeks or 3 weeks, thinking I'm pregnant. I'll be having all the symptoms of pregnancy. I'll be urinating frequently. I'll be nauseous and everything, weak, sleeping a lot. But then my menses come up. So I was kind of curious. So I went to the hospital and then I explained everything to my Ghanaian, and then she said, okay, then we have to run some tests to confirm what is actually going on. So I did the test and she told me that I should come with my husband, I think the week after. So my husband also went there and then he ran some tests too. So later on we went together when the test result came out and she was like, my husband is okay with the sperm count, but I have a hormone in me, that I have a little hormone imbalance, and that hormone is making me feel like I'm pregnant, but I'm not pregnant. And it's the hormone that produces breast milk. And I have a lot of them in me, so I have to take medication. And then the medication comes in every 2 weeks. I have to come in and take it. So the first 2 weeks I took it, and the second 2 weeks I went in. So I think in September, entering October, I'd gone for my normal jogging with my husband. We went. So when I came back, I was feeling something in my tummy. I didn't know what was going on. So I said, it's the normal one. It's the same thing that will come. I'll feel the symptoms, but no pregnancy. So I just ignored. So the day for my menses came, it didn't come. 2 days after, it didn't come. 3 days, 4 days, then let me go and check. So I went to buy pregnancy test kits. So early Saturday morning, I read on the internet that it's when you use early morning urine, it gives you the perfect results. So early Saturday morning, as early as 5 a.m., I woke up and I went to the bathhouse to check. And I saw 2 lines. I was like, is it true? So I went to buy another one again early in the morning, and I checked again, and it was still 2 lines. And I came back and I told my husband that I've checked, it's positive. But because we've been checking it wasn't positive, so he didn't show any kind of, and he said, okay, then I should go to the hospital and go and check on Monday. So when I went there to the hospital, immediately I entered, the receptionist said, hey, I come to continue your medication. And I said, no, I'm pregnant. And he said, when your medication now, you're pregnant. How did you know? And I showed her the test. I took the test to the hospital and I showed it to her. And she was like, okay, then you go home, doctor. So when we went, and the doctor said, okay, then we'll do the blood to confirm. And then we did. I was 4 weeks pregnant. So that's how I realized I was pregnant. Labor. Okay. During my pregnancy journey, I didn't have any complications. So, and I didn't vomit, I wasn't nauseous, I didn't throw out saliva and all those things. So it was the last trimester that I was having complications. My tummy was very big. Because people thought I was going to give birth to twins. I know it was a baby girl, but I didn't tell people. It was very big, dark, with a lot of big stretch marks on them. So before labor, I went to the hospital. When the doctor saw me, he said, you're not looking well, because my legs are swollen, my face swollen, every part of me like swollen. And he said, go and check your BP. And then I went to check my BP. When I came back, and she said, my BP is too high. It's possible I can get a pre-eclampsia, so I have to be hospitalized and placed on diet because my weight was too much. I was like 120 kg. Because I was eating a lot. I was pregnant, I ate a lot. So I have to be placed on diet. And then I stayed in the hospital for like 1 week so that my BP will calm down. And I was having protein in my urine too. So I was giving only fruits and then rice with no salt, no stew, nothing. So that's what I was eating so that my weight will calm down, my pressure to calm down. And the doctor was like, I'll give you medication that to speed up the baby's development of her lungs so that in case you're supposed to do anything and then she comes up, she's okay. I should not be placed in an incubator. So I was giving medication for that. So I spent 1 week there. I was okay. My BP came down. My swollen legs came down and everything. So I was discharged. Then the week after, Friday evening, I was having some pains around my abdomen. So I went to the hospital in the evening, like 10 p.m. And the doctor said, it's nothing. Maybe it's indigestion or something. So I should take some medicine and then go. Then early Saturday morning, I took oats and I vomited. I have never vomited before. And I was still feeling the pains. So I called my Ghanaian. It's okay, I should meet her at the hospital. And then when I met her, she said I should be placed on the CTG scan. So I was placed on it, and it shows that I had contractions and that baby wants to come. And she was like, okay, let's keep you here because you've earlier recorded like high blood pressure and you don't want anything to happen to you. So I called my husband that this is the situation, so you should bring my baby bag and everything because I went there alone and then I'll be hospitalized. So I was there and the contractions started coming. And then I thought, okay, I wanted to give birth naturally. So I thought, okay, contractions come in there, then baby is due to come. So I was glad. Then the whole of Saturday, nothing is coming. They insert and then they said, only 1 centimeter. You have not your cervix has not dilated. So I read that if you walk about and then you exercise your cervix. So I was walking about, climbing the stairs because I wanted to give birth naturally and nothing was happening. So Sunday morning, I think at dawn, a nurse came in and was like, the doctor said they should induce me with this cytotech or something. So they induced me vaginally inside and it was painful. Then the contractions started coming, like very painful. And my stomach became really hard, like a stone. So I was like, okay, then maybe labor is coming. So in the evening, I saw mucus, I saw blood coming out. I was like, okay, then very soon my water will burst. So I was happy. So along that way, I was talking to my mom and my dad, and I was giving them updates and on everything. So still Sunday, no show. Then at dawn Monday again, they induced me again, another cytotech. And I was like, they already told me that if you shout, you lose a lot of strength when you're in theater. So I would do like, just to endure the pain. And still, my water is not bursting. They'll call me, I'll go downstairs. Then my gynae will insect her finger, and then she's like, oh, only 2 centimeters. So when is your cervix going to dilate? If I had even gone in deeper, I would have burst but I can't go in deeper. It's like, baby will not come. So Monday to no show. So Monday evening, my gynae came and said, okay, we'll induce it for the last time. If baby doesn't come, then we'll look at another option. So I was induced again. I was all alone at the hospital. Once in a while, my husband will come and then sit by me and then later go because he has to go and work. So they will induce me and I'll be like, because I was so antenatal to do. So I was doing it and the pain was excruciating. Like baby was kicking. You could feel like baby's head is down, wanting to come, and Charlie, the thing wasn't coming. So Tuesday morning, still no show. Then they brought me breakfast, I ate, and then my gynae came and was like, let me go examine you again. So we went downstairs and then she placed her fingers there. She couldn't go further to burst this thing. So it's okay, let me place you on a CTG scan to check the breath of the baby. And when we went, baby's breath was going down and down and down because the labor had prolonged. and she said she can't induce me the 4th time, or that baby will die. So I have to call my husband. Then we will decide on a CS. So I called my husband. I told him, and then he came. And then before that, I also called my dad. I'm very close to my dad, so I called him, and he also came. So we went to see the doctor, and she was like, maybe the baby has used the umbilical cord to tie her neck. That's why it's not coming. Or baby's head is too big, so I can't give birth naturally. I have to do a CS. And my vim came down. I was like, CS, pa. Because I've not read anything about CS. I wanted to give birth naturally. So the first thing that came out of my mind was, how much? Because I had not planned for the cost. It was a private hospital, and I've heard CS is very expensive. I wasn't even thinking about the baby. And the doctor said, during a born, we're not thinking about how we will take the baby out. I was like, I have to ask, so because I didn't prepare. So don't worry about the cost. Let's do the surgery first. And now throwing back, I realized that that's when my depression started, because throughout I wasn't happy. So they prepared me for theater, they wore me that gown. And then when I went inside, I was very nervous and scared. My heart was beating. So the doctor who gave me the anesthesia was trying to calm me down so that I'll smile. But the smile wasn't coming because I was very nervous. And I kept asking, is my husband coming? Is my husband coming? Because I didn't want to be alone. So I didn't feel anything down there. And then they started, and the doctor was like, I'll cut you. You feel I'll cut you, but if you feel the pain, let me know. And then they blocked my vein. So they did their thing. I was waiting for baby to come out. During the surgery, I vomited because I'd already eaten early in the morning. I was told when you're having a surgery, you're supposed to eat. So I vomited through my side like this. So I was waiting, and then I heard the cry of a baby. And then they brought the baby and showed to me. Oyeden. And I said, Oba. And then I had already agreed with my husband that when the baby comes, he should follow them, because I've heard people exchanging babies and all of that. So he left me. But when I saw the baby, I didn't smile. I was crying. And then the doctor gave me anesthesia, said, why am I crying? And I said, I don't know. And even throughout the surgery, I was crying. And my husband was asking, why am I crying? I said, I don't know. So they took the baby away, and then they did whatever they could do. And I was very weak. So I saw, when they took me back to the intensive care, I saw them bringing baby, but because I was weak, I didn't look at her, and they put her in a crib. So my dad, before the surgery, my dad was around, and we had already prayed before going there. So my dad and my husband were around, and they were telling me that the baby is smiling, but I was weak, so I couldn't do anything. I felt like sleeping, not sleeping, and I had something here that they said it was help me endure the pain, and I had another needle here with the drip. So like I was tired, so I just left off. I didn't know what happened again. So early the following, that was Wednesday at dawn. That was when I realized that now I'm in reality because the anesthesia has already gone out, and I was feeling the pain, and I was asking the nurse, is my husband coming? Is my husband coming? And he said, oh, I feel about 5 a.m. Who has one by? I said, I didn't change. So that was it for labor, and it wasn't easy at all, not at all. So right after the labor, then I wasn't happy. For I don't know that I wasn't happy at all. Even though I shared on social media that I delivered, I wasn't happy myself. And then the pain too was they were giving me drugs to reduce the pain. And because of the surgery, I'm not supposed to take heavy food. So I was taking light porridge, corn porridge. So they had to remove the catheter, and then my gynae said I was bleeding a lot, so they had to insert this surgery sponge. I thought it was a small one, So the following day, when they were removing it, not knowing, it was big like this, covered with blood. He said I kept on bleeding, and then blood will not clot. So they had to do that. Immediately they removed it, blood was coming. So I had to rush to the bathroom to put on my pad and see that the blood was there. So I wasn't enjoying the hospital. My baby wasn't sleeping, breast milk wasn't coming. They had to give me a tablet so that the breast milk would come. And they say I should force, and then if I put the baby there, naturally the breast milk will come, but it wasn't coming. So baby was feeling uncomfortable, crying, so they had to give her formula. So I wasn't enjoying the hospital stay because baby wasn't sleeping, I wasn't sleeping. Still, I looked pregnant with all the dark patches. My face was swollen, my legs were still swollen because I wasn't sleeping. So my BP was going high and high and high. So they gave me BP drugs, and I had protein too in my urine too. So sometimes the nurses will come for the baby so that I would sleep. I couldn't sleep. I didn't know why I couldn't sleep. And my condition was getting worse and worse. Though my mom will come, my dad will come, my husband will come, they'll come and look at me, take the dirty clothes, go and wash. But I felt alone because after 2 days, you're supposed to stay 4 days in the hospital. So after 2 days, they expect you to walk around and do your own thing. If the baby pulls, you do everything. And they were forcing me to breastfeed. So after the 3rd day, the breast milk was coming and my breast was heavy. But when I put the baby there, unto me, she can't suck, I don't know. And they were forcing me to do it. And my nipple was sore, and my breast was hard, but I had to endure the pain. So on Saturday, early in the morning, I woke up and I said, no, I'll go home. So I had already packed my things, discharged myself, even with the daughter had come. And the nurses were like, what do you mean discharge you? And I told them that my brain needs to mean like the pain, I'm suffering there, the pain. And the medicines too are too, like I'm not eating heavy because of the surgery. And the medicines too, the milligrams are high. And like I'm feeling weak. And only me caring for the baby, I can't stay here. So they shall allow me to go. When my daughter came, was like, okay, why discharge you there? Let me check your sore, and then see if everything is fine, you can go home. Then he checked, said, okay, I can go home. And then he discharged me. We had to pay the bills and everything. And then I was happy I was going home. So I got home, everybody welcomed me, my mom, my dad, my siblings, everything. I went to my mom's place first, but that was where I was supposed to stay. I'm a first-time mom. Then in the evening, when I took juice and bread, I was feeling nauseous. I vomited everything out. And I was surprised. They say I discharged me about hospital and I'm feeling nauseous again. Okay. Then they said I shouldn't worry. Maybe it's something else. So the following morning, I'll be okay. So throughout the night, I couldn't sleep. I was feeling as if I'm coming to faint or something. I don't know. And I was crying. I was telling my dad I want to go back to my husband's house. I was saying all kinds of foolish things. I didn't know I don't know what was wrong with me. So early morning, I woke up, I took tea and I vomited. And I was feeling weaker and weaker. So I had to go back to the hospital on the Sunday. Once I have discharged myself on the Saturday. When I went there, and the next were like, see, I catch you some coffee. And you've gone to the house. So they had to hospitalize me again, gave me drips, gave me sleeping tablet because I wasn't sleeping. I couldn't sleep. I didn't know why. My baby would sleep, but I couldn't sleep. So they gave me the sleeping tablets and then I dozed off. So I think 3 hours or 4 hours later, I woke up and the doctor was like, some of the medicines in there maybe are not good for me. So she will change it and she'll give me the one that will stop me being nauseous so that I can eat. So she gave me the medicine and I took it home. But you know, the medicines were high and you can't eat heavy food. And you know, medicine requires heavy food. So I took my decision that I'll not take them. So I stopped taking the hospital medicines. I stopped because I was feeling uncomfortable. I'll drink it, I'll feel weak, as if I'll be hallucinating. I'll be saying all sorts of things. I don't want to touch my baby, I don't want to breastfeed her. And I told my mom that no, I'll take only paracetamol. So I stopped taking the medicine. So I wasn't joyful. I didn't have any happiness in me that giving birth. My mom was happy, everybody was happy around me. But as for me, I wasn't happy because I was crying most of the time, especially at dawn when baby is not sleeping. I have to give breast milk and the nipple is sore, spilling off, and I had to enjoy it because I heard that if you don't give breast milk, your womb will not go back inside, will not contract. And my tummy was still big, so I wanted my womb to contract so that I'll come back to my normal self. But I wasn't enjoying it at all. Delivery, I didn't enjoy motherhood from the beginning. And back now I realized that I was actually depressed at that time. And then if you complain, my mom would be like, oh, you've gotten one, people are praying, they've not gotten anything. And my husband was like, would see me or the dodo and bibia in hospital. You know, people are not understanding me. But my dad really understood me very well because he was encouraging me, he was telling me that it's a phase I'm passing through, I should be patient, and then very soon. So he kept talking to me, encouraging me, and he was pampering me in some way. Okay, so like he will wake up early in the morning, wash my baby's things and my things for me, and then early in the morning my breakfast is ready. My dad wanted me to get out of the phase bit by bit, and it helped me a lot at that time. Yes, I've gotten scare moments. I remember after 2 months or some weeks, we went back to our house and then I had a rocker. So I placed the baby in the rocker with the hooks so that she will not fall down. So me, I'm about to washing. Then I heard kum. Then I came to the hole and my baby was under the rocker. And I was like, is it? I didn't put the hook there. Well, oh, is the baby hook removed? Because baby is just 3 months old. How can the baby remove the hook? And she was undying. She wasn't crying, like she was playing. And I took it and I kept it myself. I didn't tell anybody because if I tell somebody, like, yeah, bad mom and all that. So I kept it there and then I checked whether, like, I was pressing to see if she would cry, if any of her bones are broken. And she wasn't crying. And then she was playing. Then I said, okay, then rocker. No rocker, baby rocker again. So I played it and when I put her on the floor. So, and she has fell off our bed like 2 to 3 times. First one, there were no pillows around, and then she fell down. So I learned from my mistake that second one to help. But I placed pillow then, and I came pillow and baby near on the floor. On the floor, so I had to take her to the hospital to check if anything is wrong with her, and she was fine. I was like, hey, I've been a bad mom, pal. So from there, when I'm not around, she's on the floor, not on the bed. So I learned from my mistakes. So that's my scare moment so far. The injection, when they give the baby injection, the way the baby will scream, you feel emotional immediately. You feel like crying with your baby. And because I read a lot that immunization helps the baby, so I make sure I attend, they call it weighing, every time that I'm giving the dates. So dates, we still go. Even though she's 2 years, we still go. And we will have our appointment next week and we'll be going. So after immunization, I didn't joke with it. I go, even if I had to go to work early in the morning, I'll go with her and then I'll go to work. Or I'll beg my mom to go with her and I'll go to work. And I think it helped because it's no strange sickness so far. Like, even if she gets it's fever, high temperature, and it has helped them to become strong. So I would advise everybody should take this for your child for immunization because it's very good. She cried a lot. We were advised to put ice blocks on the injection when you get home, and it wasn't easy. At a point, it would get swollen, especially one that they did it on the arm to get swollen, and then you have to give her paracetamol. You have to be putting ice blocks in towel, and then you press it on it. She'll feel calm when you press on it, and then when you move it, she'll start crying. And at night too, hey, her temperature will rise because of the injection. She'll be crying, giving her paracetamol, gripe water, just to cool her down. And as a new mom, sometimes you don't know what to do. You get confused and all of that. So I'll call my mom and then I'll ask her for any advice. She'll give it to me and then I'll apply it. So to her taking it, it wasn't easy at all. So I had to report to work 4 months, when the baby was 4 months. And I didn't know that to get breast milk, you have to be expressing it prior before going to work, so I can keep it in the freezer. I didn't know. So I thought when you start the work, then you express it and then you store it in the fridge. But it wasn't sufficient for the baby. So my mom suggested light porridge, corn porridge. At first I was reluctant because she wasn't 6 months old and you're going to introduce porridge. And my mom said, it's not going to hurt her, it's good, she did some for us, so it's no problem. And I agreed to it. So she'll sieve the corn dough and then she'll do it as in the porridge, keep it in the flax, and then mix it with the formula. So she took solids right from 4 months, and since then she has been taking solids throughout. So my baby took solids rather earlier, not the normal 6 months. So when I'm at home, then she takes breast milk throughout. When I go to work, I express some, she takes formula, and then she takes the porridge. So she took solid food very early, at the age of 4 months. I went back to work when the baby was 4 months. It wasn't easy. When you get back to work, your colleagues, management wants you to snap back to work just like that. But it's not easy because even before going to work, that dawn, you've not even slept the whole of that dawn because baby will not sleep. My baby was actually not sleeping. I don't know. She will sleep from 5 a.m. So from 12 a.m., 11 and 10 a.m., she doesn't sleep. Her eyes will be on, she'll be crying, I'll be breastfeeding. So it was taking a toll on me. And I complained to my mom and she was like, because when you're pregnant, I wasn't sleeping when I was pregnant. I couldn't sleep. I can sleep in the afternoon, but like 9, I can't sleep until it's 4 a.m. Then I'll be sleeping and have to go to work too. So when I go to work, I don't sleep. I wasn't sleeping during pregnancy. I didn't know why. I didn't know if it's part of my pregnancy journey. So my mom was like, because one that on that. So I always go to work very tired. When you look at my face, and you can't complain, because if you complain, the response will be like, normal, like people have passed through it and they are still working and all that. So I went to work. They said 1 hour lunch break, 1 hour for espresso milk. So if you want to take it, fine. If you don't want to take it, then you close at 3 because you close at 5. So I'll eat early in the morning. I don't want to go for lunch because I want to close at 3. So I eat very early in the morning. I'll not eat throughout. I'll be taking snacks, then 3 I'll close. And my boss called me one day and he was like, the Sarah he used to know before childbirth, how I was eager to come to work, I'll come to him, I'll bring out my opinion about certain things and solutions. It has come down a little bit. Is there any problem? I was like, now I have a baby and it's taking a toll on me and it's not that easy, but I'm trying my best. So if you see any changes, it's you have to understand, because you see your wife has also passed through it. And he was asking me about my intentions to further my education. I was like, now everything is about baby. So going back to school, it's not in my agenda right now. So later on, back and forth with my manager, bringing out options that were not comfortable with, because I was still healing from the pain and I didn't know that after CS, you're supposed to walk around for long. So because I was enjoying the pampering from my dad, I wasn't working that too much. So when I started work, I had problems with my leg. Okay, so I think the bones were softened, especially my knee. So anytime I walk out, my legs will be shaking. I can't walk for a long distance. And when I stand up, my legs will be heavy. So I have to stand for long, wait a little bit, and then I'll walk. So when you're going for maternity, somebody has taken your positions. When you come back, some way, and they wanted to put me somewhere, like go back to the field and do field work. And I was like, no, I can't do it. So the understanding was there, so I resigned from my work. My baby didn't meet her milestones all the time, okay? So I was still at 4 months, 5 months, she's supposed to sit down, but she wasn't sitting. I tried the how do you call it, the box thing. I bought a seater for her. She wasn't sitting, so my mom was like, don't worry, it's each child is each and every child in its own strength and then weaknesses, so she'll sit. So she started sitting like 6 months, 7 months, and I was happy. Then came to crawling too. She wasn't crawling. When you put that thing there and you ask her to come, then she'll be crying. She doesn't want to come. And my husband was blaming me that I always put her at my back. That's why she's not making effort to crawl, because anytime she cries and I'll take her and I'll put her at my back. But 8 months I started crawling, and I was like, okay, then my baby is a late comer. Teething too came very late, like 10 months. Then I saw some 2B coming up there. And then it got to walking. After 1 year, hey, baby is not walking. I was worried. I took her to the hospital. They said she's fine, she'll walk. 1 year, 2 months, she's not walking. Then 1 year, 3 months, she started standing up, and then she'll hold the wall, and then she'll be walking. I was like, okay, then baby is coming. When will she leave wall and then walk? So I bought her that wooden thing to train her. And one day I was at work, I think she was 1 year, 4 months. And then my mom called me that, Sarah, Obama has an auntie. And I said, oh boy. Then I was happy at work. So when I went home, my mom was like, later in the afternoon, I was pounding fufu. I asked her to come for cassava, and she stood up and she walked. So she herself, she was surprised. I'm also surprised. I was okay, illustrate and let me see if she's walking. I wanted to believe she's walking. And she called her. She wasn't coming because I was around. My mom said, okay, go and hide, and I'll call her, and then she'll come. So I went to hide somewhere. And then she called her to come for a doll. And then she was coming. And I was very happy. I was like, hey, my baby is walking, because I have been blamed several times that I'm the one making my baby not to put any more effort in all those things. So I was very, very happy when she was walking. But my baby was a very, very late comer. Very, very late comer. Very late comer. Okay, my baby is not in school yet. She was supposed to start this year, February, to March, and then Corona came. So she's not in school now, but I teach her little things at home, like the alphabets and numbers, and she follows. And sometimes I write them on a piece of paper and I mention it, and then so right now she can say 1, 2, 3 up to 10. And if I start 1, then she follows 2. Though it's not clear, but she says it. And then the alphabet too. Now you've got into E. Now you can say A, B, C, D to E. I like reading a lot, and if anything catches my fancy, I read, unless I'm not interested in it. And I think my baby has also gotten that genes, because when a book is lying down, even though she doesn't know how to, she'll go and pick it, lie down, open it, be flipping through, looking at the pictures and all of that. And sometimes she'll come and give it to you to read it to her. And my mom teaches her, read Bible stories to her. So she can say Jesus Christ, she can say Adam and Eve. So in our own small way, we are teaching her at home, and she's really fast. She picks things a lot. She's fast. So the most challenging part of motherhood is when I started not doing things I used to do. I realized this time that I suffered depression, postpartum depression, because at a point in time I was crying. Nothing has happened. I'll be crying all throughout the whole day. Sometimes baby will cry. I will not go and pick baby. Sometimes I'll shout on baby, like, why are you crying? Don't know that it has done. Let's sleep. And then sometimes I feel like picking a pillow, ending it all, because I wasn't enjoying. My partner wasn't understanding me. It was taking a toll on my marriage. There was miscommunication between us. He expects I do everything just like any other normal mother. And the most challenging part was when I came to stay at home, when I resigned, and I got a new job though, but for some reason I wasn't feeling to go, so I didn't go, and I was home, and my husband didn't agree to my decision, and I wouldn't go out the whole day. I wouldn't do makeup, I wouldn't do my hair, I wouldn't receive calls, I wouldn't feed my baby. Sometimes I'll be eating, I was going fat because of the depression, and I was eating it anyhow. I wasn't checking my health, or sometimes I'll not even eat at all. I'll not give my baby food at all, and she was growing lean. So I went to the hospital, and my daughter told me that my baby is malnourished. She's not getting the right nutrients. What is happening? What am I doing to her? So she gave me a list of foods I'm supposed to give to my baby. So one day I'll call my dad. I'll complain to him. I'll be crying. I'll call him. I worried my dad a lot, and then one elder at congregation, so I worried him a lot. I'll be telling them, but I feel they understood me more. And then my dad will encourage me, reading Bible scriptures with me and all that. So sometimes one day I called and I said, like, I'm tired. I want to move from Accra. I want to go outside Accra. I want to stay somewhere alone. Only me. I want to leave the baby with them so that I'll be free. Because anytime anybody sees me, the person will know that I'm changed. I'm that bubbly person. But all of a sudden, I was down. Like, baby, I'm from home. Okay, so I was there. So one day, I took the decision to read about what was happening to me. And I realized that I was suffering postpartum depression. So I spoke to my dad about it, and I spoke to a doctor, and they advised me, and I took it myself to snap back. So I think in May, I called my dad one day. I was like, I want to go back to my former place not the immediate job, before I came to, and then told them, go and look for a job, because maybe me getting a job will make me active again. And he was like, that's a good idea. He encouraged me. I was feeling like I've got a dream away idea, and my dad gave me all the vim and vigor. I went there. I told them I'm back. I want my job, and then FIA. We prayed before going. God, Jehovah has been very good to me, and I don't know how it happened. It was like a miracle. They took me back, and then they gave me the position. So that part was the challenging aspect of it. And the part that it took a toll on my marriage too was very challenging. Things change. A lot of things change, and we weren't understanding ourselves very well and all of that. And it took a very very deep toll on my marriage. And then my body. I had sagging breasts. I was big in my stomach, big, still had these dark stretch marks. I didn't like my body. When I look at my body in the mirror, I was like, hey, it's me, you know. But gradually, I got a good friend who encouraged me to start exercising during the lockdown. And now I can see I'm getting back in shape. I'm getting back in shape because I exercise and then come in plan. But he encouraged me like, oh Sarah, oh Sarah, like I used to know you were like this. Now why are you? So that part also, I didn't like my body at all, and then I didn't like it. And then work too, but that's been a challenging. But I think that new moms need good support system. That is very important to me because if not for my dad, for my mom, especially my mom, she has been, I don't know what to say, she has given me a lot of help because if she was not around, I didn't know what I would have done. Every day I salute her. I praise her that she has really done well. She has really done, raising the three of her, she has really done well. And I don't joke with her at all because last year she got sick and Charlie, I was really wild. So I don't joke with her at all. So support system, I'm encouraging partners, family, friends. Sometimes you are shy to ask for support because you think people will judge you. People like, when I won't see me, which me out there. So I will encourage family and friends to render support, even if mom has not asked. You render support. Take baby. Let mom rest. Let mom go out to go and relax, to chill. It helps a lot because if that support system is not there, sometimes it takes a toll on the mother, especially combining house chores, work, and then taking care of baby. If you don't have somebody to help you, you can't do it all. You can't. A mom cannot do it all. No, it's not possible. Okay. For me, as I said earlier, I didn't enjoy motherhood from the beginning until when baby was like 1 year, when she started walking. And now the most rewarding part is how baby is able to mimic me. That one day. So now I'm careful with my speech, with the kind of things I watch on TV, the music I listen to, because everything I do, she wants to do some. If I'm combing my hair, she wants to comb her hair. If I have pictures of her putting on my wig because she has seen mommy putting on one wig, so she wants to put on wig. And how I answer phone calls, my baby has mimicked me. She can pick my phone and start having chat, just like I'm having chat, laughing, and she'll also be laughing. I don't know. I think my genes run in her because I pick things very fast. I am somebody who's very observant, and immediately I look at you 1, 2, 3, I'm able to do the thing. And my baby, because when I'm exercising, she looks at me, and when I'm not there, she will start exercising. And I when I see her, I forget a lot of things. I forget my worries, my stress. Like the most rewarding part is when I come back from work and I open the door, she notices me. And she'll be calling me Mama, or sometimes she'll call me Sarah, and I respond. I said, okay, I'm coming, let me wash my hand. And she said, yo, and she'll go and sit there waiting for me. After washing my hand, I go. Then she will start telling me everything that went on during the day. In her own language, I don't even understand what she's saying. But she'll be giving me, like she'll be talking here, then she'll point the ground, she'll point the ceiling, she'll point the TV, then she'll point the book. Like she's telling me whatever happened. But then I'll be encouraging her, okay, yo, what happened? Okay, and she'll and if you look at that, it's very fulfilling. You realize that you've given birth to a human being who is growing very lovely and beautiful. Now she does something, you all burst into laughter, and then you all be laughing, and she also be laughing. Sometimes we're having discussion, she's sitting there like adults, we are talking, and she wants to talk, so she also be participating in the talk, and it's very exciting. And I said I'll not give birth again, but when I look at her growing now, she's growing, 2 years, and she's tall already. She can do a lot of things on her own. She can eat on her own. I sent her on small errands. I give her instructions. She knows what I'm talking about. She'll go and bring the thing, and she's very, very intelligent, and she's able to pick up things very well. And the most the most surprising thing that my dad talks about is she's able to identify our phones. I can lay my phone down, my dad, my mom, my siblings, and I will call her and like, go and take I'll tell her to go and take, and she knows my phone, she knows my dad's phone, my mom, everybody's phone. She knows our ringing tone. If my mom gets a call and then she'll pick she knows my mom's phone is ringing, she'll go and search for it, pick it, and you'll be like, give it to me, I'll go and give it to my, she wants to give it to my mother because that's my mom's phone. And sometimes I sit down like, where did my child get this wisdom from? And it's very exciting. I wish every mom, aside the pain and everything, I wish every mom would get pregnant, go through the journey, and then enjoy the moment. Going forward, what I think is that though employers are thinking about their money and everything, but they should understand mothers. Each and every one has their own capacity to endure pain, or we can't compare one mom to another mom, because maybe that mom has given birth to 2, 3, it's experience. So about Ejuma, right back, this mom is a new mom adjusting, and everybody is unique. Everybody has his or her own way to endure pain, his or her own way to express his or her own emotions and everything. So if you start comparing, I don't think it's fair. I think employers should understand their female staff when they come back from maternity leave. Ask them about what they are going through and their challenges. Though it's not the right, most employers don't do it, but I think it's the right way, so that you know the kind of roles to give back to your worker when he or she comes back from maternity leave. So work wasn't easy.
This video was brought to you by Baby Bliss Mom and Baby Shop.